there was use of stones, an extraordinary amount of Molotov cocktails. They were on top of buildings, throwing things, and then towards the end of the night, there was gunfire used. There's a suggestion really people who were coming down from when the live gunfire was being used and who were hit by it, and I myself saw someone who died with a gunshot wound to his head and being taken into an ambulance. We were subjected to a very long night into dawn of psychological and physical violence. By 8 o'clock this morning, there was a growing level of tension because we were very tired. The level of casualties and injuries and deaths was high and unprecedented for us. And then between 8 and 11 o'clock, in started coming the floods of people. I'm now standing in Medina Tahrir Square. Everywhere I look is full. It's so full that you can't see it in the camera because there is no angle that gets it all. Because of the fact that they've forced us to take positions at every side of this of Medina Tahrir. The atmosphere in the air now is obviously we are moving towards sunset. The helicopters have started. So helicopters are more present than they have been during the rest of the day. They're obviously making their assessments as to what the best strategy is. The whole day we've been under siege, as we were last night, by hired henchmen principally, stopping people getting into the square, but people have still managed to find their way in. They've been stopping medical supplies. I have a very good friend of mine who is an eyewitness to the fact that they were stopping, injured people who were moving about in taxis and taking them out and beating them. The situation is tense, but Medina Tahrir remains our stronghold. It remains the stronghold of our principles. It remains the place. It remains the heart that is beating for this peaceful movement for political freedoms, for social justice, and for political reform. And nothing will stop us. He is as grotesque a dictator as any there has been, and day after day after day he proves this. I very strongly believe that we in Britain also need to ask ourselves the question, and we in the West need to ask ourselves the question, why for 30 years we have supported this man when this is what he is and this is what we know it is. And it's absolutely not a Muslim revolution. It's absolutely not, it's nothing to do with the Islamic fundamentalists. It's nothing to do with any of that kind of thing. It's about the will of the people ruling their own country. It's about decisions being made on a state level, being about the best interest of the people that live in that country. The people that are living here have lived for too long under circumstances which are not in their service, but in the service of a corrupt power that rules over them, and they've had enough. And they're right to have had enough.